Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, apologies for the average quality, and if I stumble over my words going forwards, I apologise in advance. If there's any lag, that can't be helped. And I must say, if you hear my neighbour's dog barking, that can't be helped either. It always decides to start when I'm about to start filming. What a surprise. So, last night was the first semi-final of the 2019 Eurovision Song Contest in Tel Aviv, Israel. 10 qualifiers out of the 17 nations that took to the stage. This video is going to be split into two parts. Hopefully it won't be too long. The first half is me talking about last night's show and what I thought of it, and the second part is going to be a preview of semi-final 2, which is tomorrow night at the time of recording this video, and my final prediction. As always, let me know your thoughts, and there'll be links in the description to my social media pages where you can read my blog if you so wish. There will be more blog posts throughout this week, but I usually am quite slow at typing them up. But they're there if you want to read them. So, I'm going to begin by talking about the countries that didn't qualify last night. I should say you can watch my live reaction to the results. It's up on my channel. And thank you to all of you who have watched that and left a comment. Much appreciated. So, Song 2 was Montenegro. I don't think anybody was expecting this to qualify. It didn't. The performance was all right, just very bland. The vocals were fine, but there wasn't a whole lot you could have done to make this stand out. They didn't really look like a band. I can imagine one or two of them might come back from Montenegro in the future as soloists. The problem last night wasn't them, it was the fact that they were lumped with a rather poor song. Simple as that. No final once again for Montenegro, and not one Eurovision fan is surprised by it. Song 3, Finland. Yes, no final for this, to no surprise. An up-tempo song that didn't really feel too much like an up-tempo song. Darude standing behind his white table for 3 minutes. In all honesty, he didn't really need to be there. Sebastian sounded pretty good, much better than he has in the past, but it simply wasn't enough. I don't know about you, but last night's show took a while to get going. You know, it was a while before a genuinely strong song took to the stage. Song 4, Poland. No final again for Poland. That's 2 years in a row. This, for me, was the most underwhelming performance of the lot. The vocals were okay, but not as strong as I was expecting them to be. The performance was not the most memorable. They were on a rotating platform. That was fine. I didn't mind their outfits. But there was something lacking about the whole thing, and it has to be said, the diaspora vote maybe wasn't as large as we thought it would be. See if Margaret's available next May. Anyway, Song 7, now this was a bit of a surprise. Hungary missing out. Yotzi Papai back for another bite of the Eurovision cherry. This was really nicely done. Alone on stage, black outfit, a sort of gold colour scheme, there was a tree, people's faces, really touching, quite an emotional ballad. He sounded really good, great singer, but no final. I can only assume people forgot about it. Let's not forget that 2 years ago in Kiev, the juries weren't super appreciative of Yotzi's song. It was the public who helped him finish in the top 10. It's very possible that something similar happened again last night, where the public had him as a qualifier, but the juries didn't. As a result, once all the points were calculated, he just missed out. That's a possibility. Song 10, Belgium. Yeah, this was not a disaster, but not far off a disaster. The problem from day one was Elliot's vocals. Now, he is young, so we have to cut him some slack, but he just didn't sound nearly good enough last night. As soon as the first chorus kicked in, I thought, oh my days, Belgium's in trouble. He sounded a little bit out of tune. His voice just wasn't strong enough. And the staging was incomprehensible. to many, I'm sure. The outfits weren't great. Why on earth there were two people banging drums, I don't know. The staging was the issue last year. It seems it was the issue this year. And next year I would like Belgium to send another young, up-and-coming musician. But it has to be said, I think you need to send somebody who, A, can sing better, and B, probably has quite a bit of experience behind them already. So if you're Belgian, let me know what you make of your country not qualifying for the second year in a row. I'm not surprised. Song 11, Georgia. Well, this was growing in support, but in the end it misses out. That's now 3 years with no final for Georgia. Otto sounded really good. I mean, he was really singing the hell out of this song. Visually, it was quite impressive, but I knew he had a tough task on his hands trying to get enough people on side to vote for this. And in the end, Georgia miss out. And then, the big talking point from last night's show, Portugal, song 15, out. What an upset. Now, I know that some big fans of Telemoveias were worried, and it seems as though they were right to be worried, but I always thought Portugal was going to sneak through. Alas, they are out. Conan Osiris. I like the song more than I did. I know some people really don't like this, but in terms of something different, something unique, something stand out, something artistic, this was right up there as being something very daring and interesting for this year's contest. I can only assume that the public didn't vote for this in huge numbers, the juries didn't like it, and people maybe weren't quite ready for what Conan was trying to achieve on the Eurovision stage. It was all quite theatrical, but not in a really poorly executed way, in my opinion. I can't believe Portugal's out and San Marino are through. More on that in a minute. It's time to go through the countries that did qualify. We won't know the exact results until much later in the week. Cyprus, song 1, through. Cyprus have a pretty good qualification record of late. This wasn't brilliant, but it was good enough. The boomerang effects that were used at one point in the song, still not quite working. Why not get rid of them then? Tamta sounded better than she did in the rehearsal footage. Visually, this still could be a lot stronger, but it was fine. It was good enough. I don't think Cyprus are winning, though. Slovenia is through, song 5. Really hypnotic, really beautiful, very nicely done. Nothing over the top about this. Slovenia, remember, is usually one of the most underrated countries in Eurovision. It could be the case in the final this year. They could be drawn second, and that really would be the end of Slovenia in this year's competition, it has to be said. She did all the work. He didn't really do much besides pretend to play the guitar for 3 minutes. Apparently in the press conference after last night's show, the guy, Gasper, was a little bit rude to one of the reporters. I don't know, I didn't really watch the press conference at all. But I'm glad Slovenia are through. I think it deserves its place in the final. It stands out because of how simple it is. Song 6, Czech Republic. Well, I'm still not a huge fan, but I appreciate it more and more. I thought it was staged very well. The frames on stage and the way it's shot, you know, particularly in the chorus with all the boxes and everything. I just thought it was really well done. The vocals were alright. The song is alright. It's possible that this song did very well in the public vote. It wouldn't surprise me. Czech Republic are through for the second year in a row and third time ever. Song 8, Belarus. Yeah, this is a little bit of a shock qualifier, I guess. A fine song, albeit quite dated. Only 16 years old is Zina, but a lot of energy, great voice. I just think the performance is messy, and I thought it was too messy to qualify. But what do I know? Belarus are through. Song 9, Serbia. All about the voice. One of the best voices this year. That was enough to see Serbia qualify. And again, really beautifully staged. Nothing over the top. Good job. Everything Belgium wasn't, in all honesty. Song 12, Australia. This was amazing. It really was. I couldn't believe towards the end just how much Kate Miller-Heidke was swinging around on the pole. I mean, I genuinely thought she was going to fall off at one stage. It is a risky performance, but it looks so good. Kate sounds fantastic for somebody that's whizzing about the stage atop a pole. I'm not a huge fan of the CGI Earth, but that's such a minor issue. This probably won the semi-final, and mark my words, Australia can definitely win on Saturday night if the public get behind this in big numbers, because I think the juries will appreciate this. Song 13, Iceland, obviously through. First time in a number of years that Iceland have made the cut. Deservedly a qualifier. Visually arresting, so different, unique, maybe a bit controversial, but on the whole, a very fine performance indeed. Song 14, Estonia. Now, this is the one that a lot of people are really unhappy about, but actually, if you take a look at the charts online at the moment, you know, Spotify and all of that, this Estonian song is doing much better than a lot of the other qualifiers from last night's show. And I think I know why, because this song, for want of a better phrase, is an Avicii ripoff. And Avicii was massively successful, so any song that sounds like something he would have released is bound to do well. And although Victor did not sound great last night, he actually knew he didn't sound great last night, because I saw a backstage video that the Eurovision YouTube channel uploaded, and he said something about his vocals being a bit off. But I did have Estonia down as a qualifier, and I'm not surprised that Victor is through. The performance, though, does come across as very bland. And it is a very generic song, let's be honest. Greece are through, song 16, no complaints here. Maybe it wasn't quite as powerful as I thought it was going to be, but this probably, you know, won the semi-final as well, I don't know. We won't know until the end of the week. I wasn't so keen on the high note towards the end, but otherwise, no complaints. And then San Marino, dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I mean, a joke that got a bit out of hand. Some people are really happy, some people are furious. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of San Marino's entry. I like it, but I'm not a huge fan. I didn't expect it to go through at all. I thought it was too jokey. Serhat sounded really poor last night, and that should have been enough to see this song out of the running. I mean, he must have done really well in the public vote, because I can't imagine the juries really went big for this. I mean, it is a jokey song. Fun, but a joke. And the fact that better quality songs have missed out in favour of this entry from San Marino, it's a real shame. Because, if anything, I imagine Conan is a little bit embarrassed that he's been knocked out in favour of Serhat. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. And now that semi-final 1's out the way, here are my brief thoughts on semi-final 2, and then I'll be doing my prediction. Although I will need to load up a document here. Hopefully there's not too much lag in this video. So, Song 1 tomorrow night is Armenia, Walking Out by Serbuk. Great voice, very powerful. Not too sure about some of the camera angles, but this is a very fine entry. Armenia didn't qualify last year. They probably should this year, but being on first could be an issue. And I know some people are expecting Armenia to miss out. Song 2, Ireland, 22 by Sarah McTernan. Very likeable singer, very beautiful singer. There's a 50s American diner retro feel to the whole performance, a sort of pop art look on the LED screen. However, fan support is low, the vocals aren't exactly incredible, and it's on early in the running order. Song 3, Moldova, Stay by Anna Odobescu. It has to be said, a very average entry, not quite as wacky as some of the Moldovan entries over the past few years. The Sand Artist from Ukraine 2011 is back. It gives the song a bit of an edge. If this goes through, it's because of that, and not the fact that the song is any good, if you see what I mean, because the song isn't that amazing. Song 4, Switzerland, Luca Henney with She Got Me. Charismatic, young, sounds good, bit of choreography, lots of red. Singing and dancing at the same time is tricky. I think he manages it pretty well. Lots of support for this. Surely Switzerland will be in the Saturday show. Song 5, Latvia, That Night by Carousel. Quite a cinematic feel to this one. Acoustic, really simplistic, really minimalist. There's a sort of wheel on the backdrop. Some gold lighting effects. Lead singer is wearing a hat. Not too sure about the lyrics, and again, like Ireland, fan support is really low. But what will the juries make of it? Song 6, Romania, Esther Peony with On a Sunday. Let's not forget the Romanian public did not want this song at all, representing their country, but here we are. Quite a mysterious sort of song, quite sultry, really good singer. There's a sort of underwater theme on the backdrop, and then lots of fire appears. Underrated? Possibly. Song 7, Denmark, Love is Forever by Leonora. Cute, charming, sweet, but there is a fine line between sweet and too sweet, if you see what I mean. It's really hard to guess how well this song will do. There's a big chair on stage. It's very similar to the national final. Some people will think it's just too cheesy, perhaps. Some people will really be charmed by it. There's nothing bad about this performance. It all depends on whether this song is your taste or not. And if Denmark creep through, none of us can be surprised. Song 8, Sweden, Too Late for Love by Jon Lundvik. Visually, this isn't the best, but the song is great, very slick. Jon is a fantastic singer. There's a bit of a gospel tinge to the performance, to the song. He's got that big lamp on stage, which looks completely out of place after the first minute. It's definitely a contender to win, let's be honest. Song 9, Austria, Penda with Limits. This is a really stripped back song. It's a ballad, very beautiful. Doesn't really build up to much, but this is staged so well, and the wide shots really work. It could be one of the standout performances of the night. Song 10, Croatia, The Dream by Rocco. Great young singer, wings on his back, a sort of cloudy sky on the backdrop. But this is erring on the side of boring. And yeah, it's not that great, is it? Song 11, Malta. This is great. Chameleon by Michaela. Fantastic young singer, very colourful, lots of block colours, bit of choreography. Really modern, fresh, one of Malta's best over the past couple of years, maybe one of the best ever Maltese entries. Could it win? Possibly. Who knows? I think a lot of people will be really impressed tomorrow night by what Malta are bringing to the table. Song 12, Lithuania, Yuri Veklenko with Run with the Lions. There are no lions. It's quite a bland performance, not a whole lot of movement. The song's not that bad, but let's be honest, Lithuania should have sent Monica Maria. If you are from Lithuania, let me know what you think of your song's chances. There will be points for this. The UK will certainly give this points. There is a bit of a diaspora vote. Will it be enough to see it through? Who knows? All depends on what the juries make of it. Song 13, Russia, Sergei is back, third in 2016. Could he finish higher this year? Possibly. The song is called Scream. He's in a box. There are lots of other boxes showing his body. Thunder and lightning on the backdrop. It's all very dramatic. He's a great singer. Huge support from Eastern Europe. But does he have enough support from Western Europe? Will he get enough points to win? We don't know. Song 14, Albania. Lots of support for this, but it is a borderline qualifier. Ktheu Tokes, Return to the Land. The only song tomorrow night that is fully in a language that isn't English. By Johnny de Melici. Great singer, not one of my favourites. Quite a static performance. If people are voting on the vocals, this is going through. If they're voting on the whole package, probably not. Song 15, Norway, big fan favourite, a very Eurovision type of song, I guess. Spirit in the Sky by Kano, a supergroup, if you will. 2 guys, 1 woman. Northern Sami playing a part, which is really nice. There's a sort of icy landscape on the LED screen. This is really nicely done. But if we are going to have a shock non-qualifier, could it be Norway? Question mark. Song 16, The Netherlands. Well, I'm telling you now, This is going to take some beating. Duncan Lawrence with Arcade, great singer. He's sitting behind a piano. The piano looks cheap. Now, whether he's going to have a grand piano by tomorrow night, I don't know. It would make more sense. I did read that he would be getting one. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I also read that the piano he currently has is a vintage piano. I don't know if there's any truth to that. Regardless, it's a minor quibble. The song is really haunting, fragile, completely beautiful. One of the best this year, no question. Possibly one of the best Dutch entries of all time. There's this whole thing with a perspex box and a light. They're not quite sure what to do with it. Get rid of it in that case. But otherwise, this is really fantastic. Should be cruising through. Song 17, North Macedonia. Tamara Todevska is back after being part of a trio 11 years ago. This song is called Proud. It's a sort of feminist anthem. She's in a green dress. There are boxes on stage again. Some people will really love it, some people will find it quite average. I fall more into the average camp. If it goes through, fine. If it doesn't, fine. It doesn't bother me. But North Macedonia haven't been in a final since 2012. Is this the year they return? If Iceland can do it, why can't North Macedonia? And finally, Azerbaijan song 18, Truth by Chingiz. Great singer, quite confident. He does sing well live. This is not the easiest song to sing, but he sounds pretty good. There are sort of two robotic arms on stage that scan him. Not really sure what that's all about. They look a bit out of place. But on the whole, this sounds and looks good. And Azerbaijan will surely return to the final this year. So 18 songs, they'll all vote. Combination of jury and public marks. The UK, Germany and Italy will be the automatic finalists to vote. 10 will qualify. Let me know your thoughts. How long is this video? Not too bad. So it's time for my prediction. As I said with my prediction for semi-final 1, how I worked this out, watching the rehearsal footage, seeing what people are saying online, on Twitter and all of that business, YouTube as well, my own personal thoughts, voting patterns in the past, all of that. I then ranked every country in order of how I think the jurors will vote, and then how I think the public will vote, and then I just worked out the average placing, and then I have my list. I think it's going to be very, very close. I actually read earlier, I think it's 2 or 3 points separated 10th and 11th in last night's semi-final. It could be even closer tomorrow night, and this is the semi-final I'm more interested in. I think the winner is going to be from this semi-final. Now watch that not happen. Anyway, my prediction. I'll announce them in a random order, as they do in real life. So the first qualifier is Azerbaijan. Why? Because it's a really good song. I can't see Azerbaijan missing out 2 years in a row. Chingiz is a good singer. People like this song. It is one of the favourites to win, although I don't think it will. The second qualifier is Romania. Why? Because I can't see Romania missing out 2 years in a row. I'm sure this will get enough points to sneak into the Saturday show. How well it will do in the grand final should it get there is anybody's guess. But like I said, it's a bit underrated. The third qualifier is Russia. Why? Because it's Russia and because it's Sergei, and he's going to get so many points. So many points. The fourth qualifier is Armenia. Yes, I do think Armenia will go through. It's quite a visually strong song. Serbuk is a great singer. It's on first, but hopefully that won't be an issue. The fifth qualifier is the Netherlands. Why? Because it is the best song of the year, arguably. And if it misses out, uproar. The sixth qualifier is Norway. Why? Because it's really fun and it has a lot of fan support, and something tells me it could be this year's Denmark, if you see what I mean. 3, 4, 5, 6. The seventh qualifier is Sweden. Why? Because Sweden could send a man farting on stage for 3 minutes and make the final. That's why. John Lundvik is a very good singer. He's co-written the British entry, but he's got the better song for Sweden. It's fantastic. It's just a shame that the visuals are a little bit uninspired. The eighth qualifier is Malta. Why? Because it's a really fantastic entry from Malta. great voice, charisma, fantastic. If this doesn't qualify, total uproar again. The 9th qualifier is North Macedonia. I was a little bit surprised when I was sorting this order out that North Macedonia is a qualifier, judging by my prediction. It's very, very close. I just have a feeling that this country won't be underrated like they have been in the past this year. And I think a lot of people will be very happy if Tamara goes through. Which means the 10th and final qualifier is Switzerland. Why? Because this song has a lot of fan support. I think the juries will appreciate it. It stands out even though it's on early in the running order. And that's it. Now it's time for the specific ranking of those entries. So I think first place, the Netherlands, Sweden 2nd, Russia 3rd, Malta 4th, Switzerland 5th, Azerbaijan 6th, Norway 7, Armenia 8, Romania 9, and North Macedonia 10, which means just missing out, and it is very close, Denmark in 11th, Albania 12th, Austria 13th, Lithuania 14, Ireland 15, Moldova 16, Croatia 17, Latvia 18. There will be a blog post very soon, all being well, in which you'll be able to see the exact jury and public ranking of the songs, in my opinion. As I said I might do for semi-final 1, I can, before the show begins, switch out my 8th, 9th or 10th predicted qualifier for the country that's in 11th place. I didn't do that with semi-final 1. I didn't put Belgium in and take a country out, and I would have been wrong because of course Belgium didn't qualify. So what I can do before tomorrow night is I can put Denmark in ahead of Armenia, Romania or North Macedonia. I'm not saying I will, but I can if I want to. There it is. Let me know your thoughts, and feel free to take a look at my live reaction to last night's results. I don't know if it happened in your country, maybe it did, but last night, just as they were recapping the qualifiers at the end of the show, BBC 4, which broadcasts the semi-finals here in Britain, cut out, and they only rejoined the coverage right at the very end of the show. Now, whether it's because the next programme had to start on BBC 4 or whether there was an issue, I don't know. If it happened in your country, let me know. What a waffly video. There it is. Now, all being well, I'll be back tomorrow night for my live reaction to the semi-final 2 results. Hopefully there won't be any major shocks again. I should say that Cyprus, the Czech Republic, Greece, San Marino and Slovenia will perform in the first half of the final, whereas Australia, Belarus, Estonia, Iceland and Serbia are all in the second half. What is interesting is that, and I'm sure all 3 will qualify, the Netherlands, Russia and Sweden could all be drawn in the first half of the final. That would be a big talking point, and it would really benefit Australia and Italy, who are in the second half. I can see San Marino opening the final. I'm going to shut up now because I've had enough of my own voice. The phone is ringing. What a palaver. Until next time, thank you for watching. Bye for now.